Aries, hello, and welcome to your Fall 2024 Shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the fall season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I'm joined today by the Willcox Tarot and Oracle. It's got Major Arcana cards, it's got Zodiac cards, and the Artist's Oracle cards. Okay, Aries, let's look at your shapeshift for the fall. Okay. One more. I just got the image of you getting glimpses of things to come. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder about this. Okay, let's take a look at this together, see if we can figure it out. So the reason I said that is because of the Hierophant here at the center. This card talks about, it's basically the High Priest. In this deck, the High Priestess is like integrating internal intuitive information and like taking the intuitive hits that they get from the inside, and that is informing their lens of understanding to the external world. Whereas the Hierophant or the High Priest is taking the cues that they're getting from the external, the outside world, and integrating that into their intuitive knowing. So there's something here, and then the fact that I saw you like getting glimpses of something, like getting glimpses of the future. I'm just wondering if there's like something about your external environment that is giving you clues, and you know, the dutiful channel that you are, or like the one who is paying attention, feels like the Hierophant, the one who is paying attention. Huh. And because it's surrounded by astrology cards, I'm like, Aries, have you started to pay attention to astrology in like a new way? Or maybe you're already an astrologer and you're like really paying attention to the transits, especially Leo and Gemini, that are coming up either collectively or like for your personal transits. And you're clocking them, you're recording them, you're writing that down. Or if you're not, maybe this shapeshift, this fall is encouraging you to do that. Because I don't necessarily see you like shifting out of Leo into Gemini. That's not actually how the reading's coming through. It's more just like you shifting into fully the role of the Hierophant. And I'm not saying you have to be an astrologer or follow astrology, but it is highly indicated if that's something you're already into. Translating the clues that you receive from your external environment, your physical world, into mystic understanding or into a higher level of like soul knowing or soul knowledge. Okay, and obviously it has something very specific to do with Leo and Gemini for you. Okay, in October, Jupiter is going retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter's been in Gemini for some time now. We've been experiencing that energy of Mars and Jupiter both hanging out in Gemini, and, you know, all summer long. Maybe you experienced this. I certainly did, where there's just like, Gemini can sometimes like speed up the rate of activities, or it can give you a lot of balls to keep in the air. Or it can like pass information very quickly. And so there's like a lot of communication, a lot of information, a lot that maybe you're juggling with Jupiter, Mars moving through Gemini. And the fact that in October this season, Jupiter is going retrograde in Gemini. I think there's something, and you have an Aries full moon in October. Okay, see, we are now playing the role of the Hierophant. We're starting to like put these pieces together to be like, okay, there's this and this and this, and that could mean this for me. All right, so you need to, wherever Aries is in your chart, wherever Gemini is, like these are things to pay attention to. I just keep hearing like, are you recording this? Are you writing this down? There's something really important about noting your findings. Take copious notes. Because there, again, like Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, there's something about you're gonna wanna review your notes. If you did any kind of like year ahead reading in your birthday season or in the beginning of the new year, you're gonna wanna revisit those notes. Because there's these clues for you to pick up on your outside world that are giving you glimpses into what may come. I mean, honestly, that is what I'm seeing. And astrology can be applied that way as a predictive type information source, if you know how to use it. So that's the Gemini, I think, is the Jupiter retrograde. Interesting. And then the Leo reading, or the Leo card, sorry. Oh, maybe you need to watch the Leo reading. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what it is. We have a Mars retrograde in Leo starting in December, right? Or is it November? Yeah, it's December. Mars will retrograde in Leo on December 6th, and it will go back into Cancer. So we're getting like Leo, Cancer, Mars retrograde from December, January, February. It's a long one. So this could be looking ahead to that and starting to make some delineations, make some determinations. And if, by the way, if astrology is not your thing, or if like you're not over here making delineations based on the transits that you're seeing, I am. So get in touch with me and we'll do an astrology reading for you. So we have Jupiter and Mars. We're so far in this reading, that's what we're tracking on a collective basis. Of course, you've maybe got personal planets in Leo and Gemini that you are also keeping an eye on. If Gemini is information and Leo is the heart, the self, maybe these transits are giving you some valuable information about yourself, or how you express yourself out in the world, or your ability to kind of like walk in confidence with who you are. That could be one like psychological interpretation of those signs. But I don't know, Aries, you're getting some kind of information, and I feel like I can't give you much more than that until we start clarifying. And again, if astrology is not your thing, go back through old journals. Go through your notes app. It's like there's, or you know, if it's not something you wrote down in the past, maybe it's something you need to start recording. Maybe you need to start recording your dreams. Maybe you need to start writing things in your calendar, writing things as they happen, or like noting signs and synchronicities. Pay attention to your surroundings. What are the clues that you're getting? Some of them may be very obvious. And it's important that you not only like, you know how sometimes we can note things that are happening in the environment, especially like socially, collectively, environmentally. And we can be like, okay, I know this is happening, but we're not necessarily making any changes, or we're not really making any like shifts in our decision-making process based on what we're seeing. So you can like note what you're seeing all day, but until you actually start integrating what you're seeing around you with your internal experience and making choices differently, you're not really applying the information that you're gathering. So there's something here, Aries, about information gathering seems to be a huge part of this reading with the Hierophant. But then I'm wondering about applying the information that you are gathering and what that might look like. Like, how might it change your experience if you start making decisions based on what you're actually seeing around you? Okay. Interesting direction to this reading so far. We're going to use some other decks now and get much more specific in the clarifying part of the reading. So if you want to join for that, the link is in the description below, and that will take you to the shifting space. This is a community that investigates these shift readings together online throughout the course of the season. We meet, we watch the readings together, we chat in a Discord server, we pull cards for each other, we note the astrology transits as they happen in real time. So for something like this, if like specifically tracking your cards, tracking the cards that you are getting in these readings, the cards that you're pulling for yourself, noting the synchronicities that are coming up, like, oh wait, I got the Hermit card in this reading and I'm getting the Hermit card in that reading, and the same card is coming up on this reading. Okay, there's a message here. I need to consider what that might be. Or like, I keep pulling the Hierophant for myself too. Okay, like, let's figure out what this repeated signal could mean. All right. Anyway, the shifting space is a great place to do that. So if you want some guidance in your, and like community in your notation process, we got the space for you. Okay, Aries, let's get to clarifying this.